Oh, dearest. I'm sorry. I didn't expect you to come by so soon, but it's no problem at all. No, I just finished up an errand not too long ago. Please, come in and make yourself comfortable. Lock up the front gates and close the curtains, ladies. I won't be entertaining any additional guests today. All other meetings will be rescheduled. Have them look through my available times on the calendar. The remainder of today is crossed out. If it's that important, then it isn't. The current situation takes priority over anything else. The months they've waited does not compare to the years I've been waiting for today. They can handle a few more if need be. Good. Now, get to it and don't disturb us. Do you see the sorts of things I've been forced to put up with in order to make sure I have time with you? Every single time. You know, yesterday I would have expected you to be upset on behalf of my clients, but I'm glad that you appreciate the effort now. Say that again for me. I'm just trying to take in the change. It doesn't feel real, but it is. Working in the business sector, I've had to take several gambles on projects, affiliations, you name it. It always comes with a risk. You win some, you lose some, but that's the name of the game. But today, that sort of decision-making has crept its way into my personal life. When you've been dealing with several clients for years, you gain a knack for picking out scams and snake oil salesmen who make all these grand promises and reward you with nothing but disappointment and an empty wallet. It is so easy to spot the way they exploit their victims' wants, their desires, their insecurities. As an outsider looking in, I've always wondered why they could never see it themselves. However, these past several years of constant rejection have taken a toll on me, and I've come to realize just how broken and desperate one needs to be in order to lose sight of reality. It's funny, when you have no money or ambition or anything else to offer, you at least have something to work towards when someone rejects you. But already being at the top, what am I supposed to do? Get even richer? Find a 10th hobby? At that point, you're simply asking me to be someone I'm not. Do you know what that does to a person? How soul-crushing it is to be told by the person that you love that you're everything they don't want in a relationship? I don't think you would have apologized before today, but thank you. In the back of my mind, I was preparing myself to waste so much money today on someone claiming to partake in witchcraft of all things. I kept telling myself I should have known better, and yet I still took that gamble. But look at what it gave me. Look at that change of heart in mere hours. Earlier today, I would have thought that the concept of magic was ridiculous, but I am forever changed. You do love me, yes? Oh, you're going to take my breath away, but keep saying that. It's not just attraction, right? It's real love. Then, you truly gave her everything. That woman, the witch, How else would she have gotten a hold of your love if you hadn't sold it to her? It's quite common now. Many people from all walks of life have been selling their love in hopes of it finding its way to someone special. Oh, yes. My peers especially. That's how I heard about her in the first place. They've become so desperate in finding decent prospects that they're allowing a transaction to decide their fates for them. Naturally, the love of someone with great wealth would value their love at a high price, so only those of greater wealth would have a chance of purchasing them. Many at least have the realistic expectation of some older bachelor or bachelorette sitting on a centuries-old fortune making the purchase. I'm fairly convinced that they do it just because they can kiss their designated lovers without throwing up in their mouths. But I'm curious, what made you decide to sell your own? Down on your luck, perhaps? I hear she pays well even for someone of lower standing. Not as much as the love of nobility, but it was far beyond the price I imagine most of your peers can afford. I could have given you so much more than that, you know. I could have erased every debt to your name in several generations before you. As happy as I am to have this opportunity you've given to me, why go to the trouble of selling your love to a witch? It couldn't have been any more different than selling out to me. It's buying your love either way, but if anything, you're gambling on the type of person who would have bought it by making it a public purchase. I suppose you're right. It wouldn't have stayed with anyone else for long. Money talks, and will convince people eventually. How much would it have taken for me to convince you? Then what offer could a witch make that I couldn't? I'm not entirely sure what to think about that. But I guess it does make it easier for you to love me that way, naturally or not. Still, you were disgusted with me before, weren't you? My practices, certainly, but I mean me. I wasn't sure if it was an extension of your distaste for my work, but I suppose since you haven't been making your usual comments, I'm inclined to think that it's all part of the same package. I mean, what else could have been keeping you from loving me in the first place? Certainly not the lifestyle. And even if it was, I refuse to drag you out to any social event where my peers could ridicule you. Or my taste, for that matter. Plus, being in the presence of like-minded people would only serve to put you in the spotlight of the wrong people. Who's to say another high bidder won't come in to sweep you off your feet? If you are willing to sell your love, it could quite easily be given to someone else without you batting an eye. I'm not going to let it get to that point. This was my one chance to have this, and I'm holding on to it for dear life. Of course, I've always wanted you to love me. Well, if you agreed to it and wanted it to happen, then so be it, right? The fact that you do love me now is all that matters. But even so, the offer to pay to keep your family business running was always going to stay, regardless of whether you said yes or not. I never said anything about taking it off your hands. I know how much it means to you to keep it in the family. I personally would like for it to stay that way as well. If you would allow me the honor of becoming part of your family, and you of mine. I've waited too many years for you to love me back. Please allow me the chance to enjoy it for the rest of my life through marriage. Oh, dearest. That means the world to me. Don't you just love that? You'll finally be free to enjoy life. No more obstacles like distrust or wariness. No more ridiculous views that tie my work to the sort of person I am underneath it all. For the love you'll give me for the rest of our days, I'll owe you much more than you can imagine. For everything that I paid to get here, not a single soul will take it away from me. I will protect this love with my life. Special thank you to all of my patrons, especially my precious pets. Water Essen, Nikki Bailey, Lucy Scott Rushton, Hybrid Sisters, Ciandre, Anna Venture, Lunar, Jenna, Destiny Stepanek, Kelsey Brock, and Brenda Denman.